Republican senator from Tennessee, and presidential candidate Fred Thompson.
Thank you for that kind introduction. I'm glad we were able to get our little girl Hayden off the stage. We were campaigning in Iowa recently, and we were talking to a large group of people, and Hayden kind of walked out onto the stage there and put her arm around my leg, and everybody kind of got a kick out of that, but she stayed. And about 5 minutes into it and so forth, it was wonderful, but it was a little disconcerting. About 5 minutes into it, I said, if you want to go and start shame her a little bit, maybe, if you want to go over here and sit back down with your mama, or you just want to stay out here in the limelight. She thought for a second and says, I'll just stay in the limelight. And she stood there the rest of my talk with the most unusual, wonderful experience I've ever had in my life. Thank you all very much. Thank you for what you're doing, who you are, being here today. A warm welcome for me, and giving me an opportunity to spend a few minutes with you. So much all the time after you become president of the United States, you'll make a few friends. That's not true with regard to running for president of the United States, because I have made several new wonderful friends, several people who have reached out to me, not just from a political standpoint, but from a personal standpoint. And we know that regardless of anything else, we have made some lifelong friends. I've had some conversations with people about things that I haven't talked about a lot in some years, and they were good for me, and I'm a better man for it. And those individuals know who I'm talking about. I just want to tell you how much I appreciate that, how much it's meant. We've been together for a long time. We've not always agreed on precisely the right approach to absolutely everything, but our goal has always been the same. That is to leave this country better off than when we came into it, just like our ancestors have done generation after generation for us. We live in the greatest country in the history of the world. So many different ways. We had a group of founding fathers who knew the scriptures, who knew the wisdom of the age, who knew that there was such a thing as humanity, knew that man was there, and nothing on the basis of that knowledge, but that man could not bring thanks for his time and the opportunity. They put forth a Declaration of Independence. Now, to the entire world, we acknowledge and we know in our basis from God and not from any government. From this concept, much power only at the federal, state level, all based on the notion of the Constitution of all powers in Washington, D.C. That was our system of government as we put forth to the world. It became a beacon of hope and inspiration the inspiration and the dedication of America. Our people have shed more blood for the liberty of other people than any other nation in the history. Time to time, citizens set forth to serve their country in different ways. In 1994, I felt it was my time. And I joined many others in putting aside the things that we were doing and stepping up and doing the things that we thought were necessary for the betterment of our country. And I'm proud to say that over 8 years on national issues, I was a consistent conservative, cutting taxes, balancing the budget, reducing regulation, promoting welfare reform, fighting for good conservative judges with 100% pro-life voting record. And I'm proud of that record. Today, and that's the president I will be. We had an opportunity during the time I was in the United States several times on abortion-related issues. There were funding issues. There was the so-called partial birth abortion issue, which of course Senator Moynihan had to correct this more like infanticide than it is so-called abortion. We have parental rights notification where we have a bill that prohibited interstate transportation of young girls to defeat the parental notification rights of states. We had cloning issues, stem cell issues. My position on that was very simple. Don't create life in order to destroy it. My foot record and my head was always there. But I must say it took life's experiences for me to absorb the real importance of it all. I've been blessed early in my life with children. So young anymore. I have experienced along the way the ultimate tragedy that a mother can have, and the ultimate blessing that a father can have. With regard to Miss Hayden, I can only say that after the first time in my life seeing a sonogram of my own child, I will never think the same exactly again. I guess more appropriately stated, I will never feel exactly the same again. Because my heart now is fully engaged with my head. As President of the United States, no legislation passed by this that funds or supports without my people. Our country is based on the rule of law. We talk about democracy, we promote democracy, we know that makes the United States. It is a shame that too often it is the judicial branch of government that violates our own rules of law. They are engaged on that same-sex marriage issue, where judges have taken it on themselves to take something that is the case of civilization, and that is the recognition of man and woman. Basically, defining marriage as between a man and a woman, and saying one state that they do such a thing does not have to be recognized by another state. Moves to that new state. This is a totally judicially created problem. I propose a constitutional amendment which will stop this particular judicial practice in its tracks. I had noticed brought home to me again the importance of not only of these issues, but of judicial restraint. When I had the opportunity to receive a call from the President of the United States who asked me to help Judge John Roberts, that's Justice John Roberts, get confirmed to the Senate for the United States Supreme Court. I believe he will go down as one of the greatest Chief Justices. We just need more of them. And think back to the criteria has been confirmed. Well, obviously, you got to have the credibility. Judge Roberts proved that quality will win out in the end. And it brought home to me again the President of the United States in the future is there are reactions to good people who are nominated for this position. If they reject that nomination, you ought to send another one up just like it. Amplify it. That's a fight we can have with the American people, before the American people, all day long. And we will win in the end. We're persistent. Good judges, I have seen battles. I have appeared before them. I have helped them get confirmed. I've served on the Judiciary Committee and worked there trying to get good ones. I know the difference between a good one and a bad one. If we need somebody in the presidency of the United States who doesn't have to call in lawyers in order to know the difference between a good one and a bad one. There are a variety of issues facing us today. I don't think that my friend Senator Oklahoma will mind if I disclose a private conversation I had with him a while back. He said, you know, one of the great moral issues of this day is the fact that we're bankrupt in the next generation. Our economy is going flat now. We've had successive quarters of growth because of the tax cut, free market we operate in, and we're thankful for that. Not enough credit is given for that. Why it's coming about. Look down the road a little bit to understand all of the economies, the left or the right, including the Comptroller of the United States, at the head of the Government Accountability, several, like I said, that are passed with regard to the retirement program. It's unsustainable. It will not work. We're going to run out. And we are now borrowing against, and will be increasingly borrowing against the next generation. And those who are too small, or those who are yet to be born, do not have a seat at this table. If we kick the can down the road and wait for somebody else to take care of the problem, but it'll be much worse, much more difficult to take care of. And those benefits for the retired people start being slashed, or those taxes are raised substantially on young working will be funding these programs, just as they're going out and getting married, trying to start their own family. That's not right. That is a moral issue too, and we have to blow the whistle on this irresponsibility, and that's exactly what I have to say. I have talked about Social Security. People don't like to talk about things like that. Politicians don't, because it's dangerous. They say it's the third rail of politics. I've set out what I consider to be kind of a modest proposal where we can start along the lines of responsibility and start doing the right things before we have to hurt everybody. Instead of waiting until we have to hurt everybody, instead of waiting for this blessing on our life to turn into a curse for the next generation. We can't do that if one generation gets another. If you can't tell the truth, you shouldn't be running for president of the United States. The fact that we're in a global conflict with radicalism, I think gives us one thing that has struck me that that is, he says, the will of the people is at least as important as their military might. Think about the future. Think about the country we're going to grow up in. And it's not all pessimistic. I wouldn't be here if I was pessimistic about it. But our optimism doesn't come from what we see or what we fear. My daddy always told me that a man could have a smile on his face all the time. I probably just didn't know what was going on. But it doesn't come from what we see. Our optimism comes from the faith that we can do something about it. That we can do something. That you're doing something about it. I'm not just doing something about it. I'm running for president of the United States. In respect, we're at a crossroads in this country, and will be next year before we make a decision as to which direction we're going. It's going to affect our security and our prosperity and the unity we need to go forward in this country. It's going to require leadership. It's going to require a knowledge and understanding of our glorious past, a willingness to lead on tough issues today, and also an understanding of the greatness of America's future, and if we do the right thing. But while we're a great nation, we must also continue to strive to be a good nation. Of course, we must have laws, do our best to stop laws, but we must also recognize the element of personal responsibility for every American in this country. When we see local authorities giving birth control to 11 and 12-year-olds, we know that some values are shared in domestic health. Federal government can't cure everything that's wrong. As President of the United States, and I will not be afraid to use it. I'm asked if others are, what would you do in your first 100 days? What are the circumstances going to be over a year? world is really at all, and what pure speculation. That's just the nature of the confrontation. The challenge, both from a security standpoint and from an economic standpoint. But I shared with my wife something after I was asked that question about the Secretary of State. I said, I don't really know what I would do in my first 100 days. It depends on the circumstances. What my priorities are, and I'm talking a lot about them. But I know the first, what I would do, I know what I would do the first hour. And pray for the wisdom of the right. And we're praying for the strength to do what is right. May we all get the strength and wisdom to do what is right for our country. Thank you very much.